Okay, so I'm going to post a video here on my progress of getting this Fox twin engine or twin cylinder engine operational and ready for a run. I'm really shooting to do a run tomorrow. Today is Sunday. EAA AirVenture 2026 starts tomorrow. I'm going to see if I can get this thing all ready to go for tomorrow. That's just time frame because I've got a lot of other things going on throughout the week, and tomorrow or Thursday is about my best chance to get this thing run. So here's the thing, is the customer authorized me to buy 2 exhausts because he really wants to see an attempt at running this engine. He doesn't care if it runs perfectly or runs at all. He just wants to at least see me attempt to run it, which is what I'm going to do. So this particular exhaust is actually mine. I bought 2 from Miko, a tilt up and a tilt down. So right now this is my exhaust mounted on here, which is not a big deal. I don't care. But so there were some serious challenges in getting this engine mounted, and it had to do with the exhaust, because initially I was just thinking about just running this thing open exhaust, and then I really didn't want to do that. So here's the thing. You see this big piece of wood here? I had to go and get a piece of hardwood to act as a spacer to move this engine out, because of the fact that with this muffler on here, there's no way it would fit. It would just contact this. And I hope over the course of the last few years, I have been given, or in Facebook Marketplace deals, had some of these silicone exhaust averters. I typically really dislike those things, and I know that I've thrown several away, but hopefully I've kept a couple so that I can put those on this thing, which isn't a super big deal if I don't, but anyway, that's kind of the thing with that. So the other thing that I'm seeing here is I just hooked up my throttle cable. So I had to drill 5 new holes in this Swiss cheese upright. The 4 for this, and then this throttle hole here. And right now, that's going right down the center of where my fuel tank mount is. Not a big deal. I put a bend in it so I can just do this. But I don't have a piece of wire long enough to route it all the way over to this guy. I just don't have a piece of wire long enough to do that. And in my time frame, I've got so much stuff going on today. Hopefully try and get this thing run tomorrow. So what I did was I did take both of these carbs off, clean them up properly, and I've got both of them set to what my best guess is that they will run, at least fire up, you know. So here's the next thing. I was super excited when this shaft was like a 5/16 24, which just so happened to be one of the sets of nuts that came with this spinner. And I was like, cool, I got a spinner to put on here, thankfully. Well, I just tried putting my heavy duty, fully battery charged electric starter on here to turn this engine over, and it said, screw that. It won't even come close. And here's why. The reason is because even though this looks like a boxer engine, it is not. It is a single throw crankshaft, which means that both pistons are going out at the same time. They're both moving at the same time. Wait, are they? Well, no, they're not, but I think all I can say is this thing has got such massive compression. Let me see if I can, I'll have to do that at another time. I was gonna pop one of the glow plugs out and see if this goes down. But anyway, so that is an idea. Take one glow plug out and try and tune one cylinder at a time and then alternate. I don't know. All I know is this thing has got massive compression. My starter will not turn it over, and I'm not super into spending, doing 20 to 30 flips anymore. My body just doesn't want me to do those kinds of things anymore. So you can see I've got this old chicken stick, which is supposed to have a silicone piece of tubing here, which has already come off because these things are just pieces of garbage. But I want to see if I can find upstairs, I might have a dowel rod that I can shove in here and just use as my chicken stick to firm this thing up, because this thing alone might do it, but it's not going to be super ideal. It doesn't really give me that firm that I need. So I don't know what's going to happen with this. That's the bottom line, is I'm going to do the best I can to get a run going on this engine. But because of the compression, I just don't know how it's going to work, because it is just super massively compressed. Single pin crankshaft. It should be going, yeah. If there's a single pin, it should be firing alternately, but man, these things just have such massive compression that I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I can tell you right now, it's a potential for being a real finger biter if I were to use a glove. So I got to come up with something here within the next 24 hours if I want to do a run tomorrow. And the other thing is, the weather here has been really weird. There's been a lot of wildfires in Canada, and this whole state has been, the weather pattern has been such that it's been blowing all that wildfire smoke down here, and we've had incredibly unhealthy conditions the last week. Tomorrow the wind is supposed to be pretty high, which isn't good for hearing things on audio. It might be all right for blowing some of this smoke out, but I'm not certain. I'm not certain how it's going to pan out. But you can see I do have this nice glow thing here, glow adapter that Wayne sent me with that big NiCad stick that he sent to me, or not NiCad, nickel metal hydride battery pack that I've been using. So that is a sweet thing. So that'll be that's the good thing. Everything else, and it's a good thing that I was able to mount this thing, and it looks super cool. I mean, it looks beautiful mounted here. Whether it's actually going to run or not, yeah, we'll see. So anyway, that's the update on this Fox Twin. I'm going to do the best I can to see if I can get it running on video and share that with the world also. Okay, just a quick update on this. This is all very fluid and happening this morning. So I neglected to think about what I'm going to do for tubing, for fuel tubing. So because I've got 2 carbs to feed. Well, as you can see, this is my T that came with my Sato FA90T engine. So I just simply took that off, and I got some of this new beautiful fuel line from Chris and at perkyplanes.com. So thank you, Chris. So all I did was I just ran something up here, and you want to try to keep, when you're feeding 2 carbs, you want to try to keep the fuel line the same length if at all possible. So what I did was I just kind of ran this to about a center point between these 2 carburetors, and then both of these lines are the exact same length. So hopefully I'm minimizing any differences in fuel delivery, but we'll have to wait and see. And if you look here, I was able to find one of these silly exhaust deflectors in my box up here. Now I'll have to go up in the apartment and check my other boxes and see if maybe I have one more for this side. But if I don't, it's not a big deal, not a huge big deal. As far as this thing goes, I just had an idea because I had some old wadded up paper towels on the floor. I just wadded up a whole bunch of paper towels in here, and I'll probably stick some more in here and just firm this thing up and make that my chicken stick. So I did confirm that obviously if I take one plug out, boy, it sure as heck makes this compression go in half, makes it much easier to turn over. However, I just don't know how feasible that is to actually remove a plug and try and attempt to start this engine, get one side running, and then shut it down, remove the plug there, and then get the other side running, and then what? You still have to overcome the compression of 2 cylinders. That would make tuning much easier, because trying to figure out which cylinder needs to be tuned the best is completely going to be by ear, totally by ear. So I'm not really sure how to go about that other than what I always do, which is just fire it up and just tune by ear. Like I said, I preliminarily set both of these carbs up to what I think might work. Hopefully it'll work. I can guarantee it'll start up if I can get it to turn over and there's good fuel delivery. So here we've got issues with potential fuel delivery, which if you look here, my tank center line is maybe a little bit low. I might need to put another piece of foam under here to raise this tank up just a hair to get it more in line.
with the cars. But other than that, I don't think I'm going to have a big, huge fuel delivery issue. I don't think I have a hole here that was big enough to shove fuel tubing through, but to reach this carb. But that's okay because it's going up here, and I need to have them both the same length anyway. So I think this is probably going to be the best way for me to set this tank up until I'm proven incorrect anyway. So I've got a couple things left to do here, but we're making some forward progress here.